What's going on, everybody? It's Kinch. Welcome back to Barwick, and here we are on the eve of our Clan War League, and it is time to do some reckless and irresponsible predictions and talk all about our Clan War League. But before we dive into the predictions, I'm going to tell you real quickly, this is going to be a tough one, for sure. Definitely going to be a tough one. We'll talk about that as we go over predictions. But there is one thing that I'm going to spring on you guys, and I'm going to put this in the pinned comments as well, and probably even post it on the Discord server. For those of you who've been with us for a long time, and I guess this is information for those of you who are new, we have generally operated on an attack your mirror kind of thing, and that is a great way to organize a mass number of people, in my opinion. It is simple and it's kind of straightforward. It is kind of industry standard. However, as we get closer and closer to a situation where we have, say, all Town Hall 18s, let's just fast forward a year or two from now when we have all max Town Halls, that no longer is like a really good option, because you're going to have someone way down here who's number 30, and they're going to be able to 3-star potentially the top base, and whoever's the top base may do better against the enemy number 3 because of the way it is set up, so on and so forth. Further complicating that for us is we have a couple guys down here. Let's see, Itchy being one of them, Chaotic, Kev, Dead Pulio. These guys are really rushed bases, but they should be attacking bases way higher than where they're at. So with that said, I want to encourage us to start transitioning to a system where we start flagging bases for Clan War League. This should work kind of similar to how we do regular wars, right? We're looking for bases we think we can 3-star. They give us the best chance to 3-star. What we don't need is, say, like, where's my Kinch account, right? Kinch is 22, he's Town Hall 15. I don't need Kinch flagging the top base and being like, oh, dude, trust me, I can get it. We got plenty of guys higher than Kinch that can get the top base, or at least attempt it. I guess we don't know what the top base looks like yet, but I got faith in my guys. Similarly, we don't need Kinch. This is maybe not a good example, but Kinch is 22, or I guess we'd say it the other way. We wouldn't need like Strike saying, oh, I'm going to flag this base way down here, right? And it's probably some like Town Hall 15 or something. We don't need that either. But we are getting closer and closer to the situation where like the bottom guys can kind of attack up, especially because in Clan War League, a lot of times you'll be facing, like the Town Hall 15s and 16s can 3-star some of the enemy 17s. So it makes sense to try to maximize our stars by giving guys a chance to attack bases that suit their attacking style. So let's do this. Let's go into this Clan War League knowing that this is a transition for us, right? The way we organize is this is going to be a transition. We're probably going to step on some toes by accident in the process of doing this, but we're going to assume the best in our teammates because we have a long and glorious track record of our teammates trying to be really good guys, right? We don't have problems with guys being turds or anything like that, because if they are, we get rid of them. So with that said, like I'm going to encourage guys, if a base is unflagged and you want to attack it, go ahead and attack it. Stay kind of within your Town Hall level as best you can. It's Clan War League. We're going to talk about a case where everyone is attacking a Town Hall 18. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So, again, it's Clan War League. You're not always going to be able to do that. But within that, it may make sense for our Town Hall 16s. In the example of everyone attacking Town Hall 18, giving our Town Hall 16s a chance to really pick their bases, so that they have the best chance to get 2 stars, or if the bases are rushed, maybe they can get 3. And then the Town Hall 17s maybe pick up some of those more difficult Town Hall 18s, regardless of where they are in the lineup. So, just some thoughts I'm throwing out there. If you guys have ideas on that, or thoughts on that, or questions on that, let me know. Again, this is like a pardon my dust kind of thing where we're gonna mess it up for sure. A couple things still hold true. If a base has been attacked, do not attack it again. Even if it was 0-starred, it generally doesn't make sense to attack it again. The only exception to that is if someone disconnects and they have 0% on the base, then maybe go ahead and attack it. But if they have any percentage, then you attacking it again doesn't increase our overall percentage, and that is the tiebreaker. So we want to be aware of that. And I will say, for this war in particular, we're going to need to be aware of that. Now, there is another scenario that we should talk about where we might want to like switch bases. I don't want to get in the weeds on this, but I made a short, and I'll put it up here, where we pulled this off in Barwick Dojo, where essentially we may have a situation where it makes sense for a lower guy to attack a higher base to try to secure 2 stars, which would allow a higher guy to attack a lower guy and secure 3 stars. I don't want to expand on that too much just because it's difficult to explain, and I think my little video does it better. So I would encourage you to watch that short. It's probably one of the better ones that I did. And so check that out. So keep that in mind. So with that being said, I think some of you guys up here in like the Town Hall 17 area should expect some bases to get flagged by like Itchy and again Chaotic and some guys. So just keep that in mind. The goal is to get 3 stars where we can. We really don't want any 1-star attacks. Now we're going to go through and do our predictions, and you're going to see that we're kind of up against it, but we're always up against it in Crystal 1. We're typically one of the most under leveled clans, and we generally do okay. I think this will be a tough one. It's going to be one of the toughest ones we've had in a couple months, but let's go ahead and dive into that and we'll talk about it. So as always, I'm going to go through and predict where I think everyone is going to finish. Now, last month I did really pretty good. My predictions were pretty good. The month before that, they were awful. I like literally had them reversed. And so who knows? Who knows how right I'll be? I will tell you, of the 8 clans here, 4 of them have hidden war logs, which is the most I've ever had. That I went through and even looked through some of my old notes because I have them all in one notebook. I couldn't find any other situations where we had 4 clans with hidden war logs. So I don't know if that is something that is happening more regularly or more frequently, or if it's just happenstance. But with that being said, it makes it really, really difficult to predict how those clans in particular will do. But I'm going to give it a try. So starting from the bottom up, the clan that I think will finish in 8th place is Rompacranios. Rompacranios. That's what I'm going with. And these are our friends here. They're an international clan, but they speak Spanish. So I'm wondering if that is someplace in South America or someplace over in Spain area. But regardless, these guys, I think it's a combination of things. If I look at their war log, it's not great. It's really not a great war log. They lose more than they win, and typically, if you see, especially in their recent history, they are running all 15-man wars, which makes me curious why they signed up for a 30-man clan war league. But here we are. So I'm curious to see how they do. Now, they don't win a lot, but I mean, it's not like they're getting like, I mean, they have wars where they get, close to max stars. So it's not like they can't do it. It just seems like for whatever reason they don't, or at least not very frequently. So I don't anticipate they'll be great. The other thing, and the real reason why I think they're really going to struggle, is they are probably one of the only clans that is going to have to start, or is most likely going to start some town halls under Town Hall 15. Maybe not a lot, but I think they'll have to put a couple in there. And they don't have a ton of 18s and 17s. They have kind of combined, they have about the same as us in 18s and 17s, but then they are really light on 16s and 15s. So we'll have to see how they do, but I picked these guys to finish last. Next, the other team that I think will really at least struggle to get out of the demotion zone, I picked them to finish 7th, and that is I don't know who came up with all the names in this Clan War League. That's probably my biggest complaint. I can't pronounce any of them. But the team that I picked to finish 7th is Geislar Oglanlar. I'm definitely crushing that. But they are our friends from Turkmenistan. I think it's only fair to point out they've got one of the coolest clan descriptions I've ever seen. And so kudos to whoever took the time to do that with the 2 hearts. Pretty cool. I do like it. Now, these guys are very similar to us, but a little bit lighter on town hall level. And so that is working against them. Again, I'm telling you, we are on the light side town hall wise. They have 9 town hall 18s and 11 town hall 17s, which is they have a little bit more 18s than we have and 1 less 17 than we have. But then they have 7 16s and 5 15s, which is fairly light. But additionally, these guys are, again, they're typically running smaller wars. I don't see them running. I guess a month ago they ran a 40 versus 40, and they did not do very well. So I'm guessing at that point they purged some of their non-active members, and they've been running smaller wars since then. And even in those smaller wars, they almost never go perfect. And by almost never, I mean just never. So in their clan war leagues, they have been working up from the lower leagues, and they've gotten several promotions in a row, so kudos to them. But again, these appear to have been in 15-man clan war leagues. So I don't think they're going to do very well in a 30-man clan war league. And again, they're about the same as us in terms of town hall strength. So I picked these guys to finish 7th. Coming in at 6, or at least as I predicted, will be a clan from France, and that is Les Actifs. I think that is French for the actives. I'm guessing. Don't quote me. I barely speak English. These guys have a hidden warlord. They're coming in on a 2 war win streak. I don't put a ton of stock into that because we more often than not come into Clan War League on a 0 war win streak. I don't know why. We always struggle with that last war before CWL. But more what I think is going against these guys is they have kind of significantly the fewest amount of 18s and 17s in their roster. Now, they will not have to start anyone below a 16. They have a ton of 16s. If I sort them by town hall, you can see that it just kind of keeps going and going and going. So they're not going to have to start anyone below a 16, but they're really light on the 18s and 17s compared to everyone else. So I think that combined with the fact that they have a hidden warlog, and you know I don't like that, I think these guys are going to struggle a little bit. Now, they may prove me wrong. They may have some really good Town Hall 16s. I do know there's tons of videos out there where Town Hall 16s can 3-star 18s. I don't know how regularly they can do that. It's not quite the same as a 15 3-starring a 17, but it does stand a reason that they could be better than I'm giving them credit for. Okay, now those 3 clans I think are really the ones I feel pretty confident that those are going to be the 3 trying to avoid being demoted. Now, again, I could be wrong on that, but I'm feeling fairly confident on that. Now, the next couple of clans can kind of jockey for some positions in the middle of the pack, but all of them have to be careful not to get dragged into that demotion zone. With that being said, the clan that I have finishing 5th and just in the bottom is us. This has less to do with us than it does the other opponents that we have drawn. We are continually improving every month with the total town halls that are above 15. This time we are starting, I think Aki is a 14. We have a couple of rushed 15s. I could have made some changes to make everyone a 15 or higher, and we're doing that without some of the guys who come and visit with us from time to time. So we're continuing to make progress in the right direction, and I'm really pleased with that. I just think that we're really, really, really up against some difficult opponents here. So I have us finishing fifth. I'm going to tell you right now that we really need to bring it on day one because these Northern Reapers, they're pretty good. Let's see where I have them ranked. Okay, if there is one team that I may be overestimating and thinking they're better than they are, it could be this next one. The team that I have finishing fourth and just squeaking into the top half is Kerala. Now, these guys are from India, and they have a pretty solid lineup, at least on paper. They can field a roster of almost all 17s and 18s. However, looking at them, I feel like about a third of their 18s may be inactive, and so I don't know. I mean, it's always difficult to tell. But when you combine that with the fact that they have a hidden war log and they're on a 0-war win streak, it makes me question if I'm giving them too much credit just solely based on their roster strength. I don't know. I feel like they have a really solid roster, and so they're going to be difficult regardless, even if they are missing a few of those 18s because they're inactive. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll see if they can hold up to the hype that I'm giving them, which is only mediocre hype, by the way. All right, the team that I have finishing third, it, there's a potential they could win this, and the reason why I say that is because I could be overestimating the other two clans, and we'll talk about that in a second. But the team that I have finishing second is the team we will face first, and that is Northern Reapers. Now, these guys are from Canada, which makes them nice. But also, I was looking at them and I really thought they just kind of remind me of us. They're just a better version. Now, these guys are on a 0-war win streak, which checks out. We do that more often than we don't. Um, their war log is solid. Now, they were up in Masters. They were up in Masters for several months, and they just came back down. Ironically, in the March season, they scored 559, which had them in fourth place. Um, they also got to fourth place scoring 507. So it kind of shows that some of these things can fluctuate based on your draw. But if you look at their roster, they get perfect stars way more often than they don't. They have the occasional hiccup, but if you look at their recent war log, it's really pretty healthy. And so I think they're going to be really quite solid. And to top it off with their performance, which looks pretty good, they have a roster that allows them to field all 17s and 18s, and these guys all look pretty active. So they will not have to, unless some guys are opted out or something, they shouldn't really have to dip below their 17s and 18s. Now, there's one caveat with that: is their roster isn't very big at all. They only have 38. Now, their lowest town hall is still a 15. So even if they have to dip to their lowest guys, they're still going to be fielding strong bases. But if they have a bunch of guys that are opted out or maybe upgrading heroes or something like that, it could make them a little bit weaker than they appear. All right, the clan that I have finishing second is Bangladesh 9. Now, I'm pretty sure Bangladesh has more than just 9 clans, but this is the 9th one that I could find. Now, these guys have a hidden war log, and of course, they have the dreaded 0-war win streak. I feel like everyone does. But they also field one of the better lineups. They have 22 Town Hall 18s. And I did take a peek at these. It does look like most of them are at least semi-active. And I didn't really see a ton that were rushed, or at least not significantly rushed. A lot of them were still in progress and maybe very young Town Hall 18s, but they were Town Hall 18s nonetheless. I didn't find any that, again, I didn't look at all of them, but I didn't find any that didn't have a revenge tower, for example. So so they're going to be able to field 22 Town Hall 18s, and the rest they should be able to fill with Town Hall 17s. Um, so I think they have a pretty deep roster. The Hidden Warlock gives me pause, but when you have a roster that's really, really strong, you should be able to do really, really well. Now, in our recent Clan War leagues, we've had clans that were really strong on the roster side that didn't perform very well. So we'll have to wait and see what these guys do. And that is a similar story for the team that I think will win it all, and that is this Pasig Astig. I don't know if that is like some funny rhyme or something, but these guys are from the Philippines. I don't like, I'm not making fun of that name because I don't know what it means, but it just kind of struck me as like two rhyming words. These guys have nothing but Town Hall 18s as far as you can see. Now, they do, it does, like, I would question how active these guys from 39 down are because none of them are in a league, but it does look like they're playing the game. They're donating and receiving troops. So I don't think they're completely inactive. But even if they were, they still have like 38 other Town Hall 18s that are all in a league and all of that. So I'm anticipating these guys will be really, really difficult to get stars against, if nothing else. I did look at a sampling of their bases. I could not find any that were rushed. Again, I could find some that were new and I'll say maybe a tiny bit rushed, but nothing that would disclude it from really being a solid Town Hall 18. They come in with a one war win streak, which is more than a lot of the guys we're facing. But again, they have a hidden war log. These guys seem like they're a relatively new clan, but to have only 20 wins and their Town Hall 9 strikes me as odd. Again, that could mean they're not very good at attacking other Town Hall 18s, but they're going to be able to be attacking a lot of bases that are below that. So I anticipate they'll still do quite well. I also anticipate it'll be very difficult to get stars off of them. So in our last Clan War League, you remember there was one clan that was kind of similar, but they were really bad attackers. They still beat almost everybody on the day-to-day battles because no one could get stars against them. They just didn't rack up a ton of stars, so they finished like near the bottom of the Clan War League. It could be that that's what these guys do. It could be that these I'm giving them too much credit for their strength of roster, but it could also be that they don't have to be that good because their roster is so strong. So we'll see how they perform and see if they can live up to the hype. So that is it. Those are my predictions for this Clan War League. This is going to be a difficult one. We have our work cut out for us. We're really going to have to be focused right from day one. We're really going to have to make sure that we're not getting any one stars. We got to avoid those at all costs. That's going to be tricky when we're attacking at the Town Hall 18s. We're going to have to figure out a plan to make sure we take down the Town Hall. But I don't know. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think, where you think we'll finish, and let me know if you think that I am way off on this. But with that being said, I'm excited to see what this Clan War League has to offer. We'll know a lot more after day one. And that'll help us shape the rest of the week. But bring your A games tomorrow when we start the attacks. I'm looking forward to it. See you guys on the battlefield. Peace out.